Ah, there we go. Welcome to Zenful Conversations, daily conversation. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for supporting this beautiful community for women and lifting me up. Your contribution in however you contribute is very much appreciated, and you'd be surprised how much it means to people when you support them. We are here in this community every single day, and we are in our 6th year. This year, we're having a conversation that is unlike the others. This one is leading us through a practice as we're absorbing these messages. This conversation this year is a practice of coming in, a practice of letting go of all the many things that we're supposed to be doing multiple at the same time. It's asking us to let it be and let us be. Let us just be and release the stimulation and enjoy this experience of life. It's a practice this year. The book we are receiving our messages from this year is offered to us by Mark Nepo. It is a New York Times bestseller, The Book of Awakening. And the Book of Awakening is described as having the life you want by being present to the life you have. So this conversation this year asks us to drop inward, and that's what we're here doing. Thank you for being here. Personally, I'm loving this conversation. Messages I've received from you, you're loving it too, and I'm so happy about that because I think this is an incredibly powerful message coming our way this year. We're just starting. Today's just day 10. And it's already had an impact, hasn't it? Let's let ourselves receive this impact. If we're sensing some kind of resistance, let's work through it. It's all right if you're resistant. You can still go and be resistant. And eventually that will lessen. And the balance will be different. Our experience will be different. What we absorb will be different. I'm recognizing possibly not let this resistance rule my life. Today, the message we're offered today for this day number 1809 is titled AKIBA. AKIBA. When AKIBA was on his deathbed, he bemoaned to his rabbi that he felt he was a failure. His rabbi moved closer and asked, why? And AKIBA confessed that he had not lived a life like Moses. The poor man began to cry, admitting that he feared God's judgment. At this, his rabbi leaned into his ear and whispered gently, God will not judge AKIBA for not being Moses. God will judge AKIBA for not being AKIBA. That's from the Talmud. Wow. This is why it's important for us to love ourselves, ladies. We are born with only one obligation, to be completely who we are. Yet, how much of our time is spent comparing ourselves to others, dead or alive? This is encouraged as necessary in the pursuit of excellence. Yet, a flower in its excellence does not yearn to be a fish, and a fish in its unmanaged elegance does not long to be a tiger. But we humans find ourselves always falling into the dream of another life. Or we secretly aspire to the fortune or fame of people we don't really know. When feeling badly about ourselves, we often try on other skins rather than understand and care for our own. Care about how we feel. Yet when we compare ourselves to others, we see neither ourselves nor those that we look up to. We only experience the tension of comparing, as if there is only 1 ounce of being to feed all our hungers. But the universe reveals its abundance most clearly when we can be who we are. Do we hear that? Do we hear that? That co-creation little nugget there? The universe reveals its abundance most clearly when we can be who we are. Mysteriously, every weed and ant and wounded rabbit, every living creature has its unique anatomy of being, which, when given over to, is more than enough. Being human, though, we are often troubled and blocked by insecurity, that windedness of heart that makes us feel unworthy. And when winded and troubled, we sometimes feel compelled to puff ourselves up. Or in our pain, it seems to make sense that if we were larger, we would be further from our pain. If we were larger, we would be harder to miss. If we were larger, we'd have a better chance of being loved. Then, not surprisingly, others need to be made smaller so we can maintain our illusion of seeming bigger than our pain. Of course, history is the humbling story of our misbegotten inflations. And truth is the corrective story of how we return to exactly who we are. And compassion, sweet compassion, is the never-ending story of how we embrace each other and forgive ourselves for not accepting our beautifully particular place in the fabric of all that there is. Let's take a pause here and absorb that message for a second. Wow, okay. I'm going to go back to that little section from the Talmud. When AKIBA was on his deathbed, he bemoaned to his rabbi that he felt he was a failure. And he told his rabbi, moved closer and asked him why. And AKIBA confessed that he had not lived a life like Moses. And he began to cry, admitting that he feared God's judgment. The rabbi then leaned into his ear and whispered gently, God will not judge AKIBA for not being Moses. God will judge AKIBA for not being AKIBA. This is powerful. God, that makes me think of the message by that Bronnie Ware offered us, the top 5 regrets of the dying. The number 1 regret is the realization that you didn't live a life true to yourself. Comparison, and this line in here, let me find that line. Where is that line? Right here. The universe reveals its abundance most clearly when we can be who we are. To me, I see this alignment thing. When we're who we are, that's the manifestation. That's the path to it. We're not going to be able to manifest divine timing, all of these things if we're trying to be someone else and not living true to ourselves. This is where when everything is aligned internally, we trust that the external will fall into place. I believe it's magical. Manifestation, co-creation. We need to be in alignment. And this just says it right there. The universe reveals its abundance most clearly when we can be who we are. We're offered an opportunity here to have a little meditation. And you can just visualize this. Filling a wide bowl with water, or you can do it with the water if you choose to. But I'm going to imagine that bowl of water and clear your mind in meditation. And then look closely at your reflection. And while looking at your reflection, allow yourself to feel the tension of one comparison that you carry. Allow yourself to feel the tension of just one comparison that you carry. Feel the pain of measuring yourself against another. Close your eyes and let this feeling through. Now, gently open your eyes and once again, look closely at your reflection in the water. And try to see yourself in comparison to no one. Look at your reflection and allow yourself to feel what makes you unique. There is no comparison. Let this move through. When we are shining our light, there is no comparison. There's no such thing. We're all beautiful. It's interesting the amount of things I believe that we have the opportunity to work through. How out of whack they are. It's a practice, though. All we gotta do is notice without judgment and practice. As soon as we notice, give ourselves a little hug and keep moving forward. We have a journaling prompt offered to us by Zen Mirrors, the 365 Spiritual Journal, awareness questions for the soul. And today, for this day 10, the question is, what are the labels that you or others have given to yourself? Such as, I'm an introvert, I am a rebel, I am a teacher, I am a student, I am attractive, I am destined to be alone, and so on. What are the labels you or others have given yourself? What are your labels? I would probably note, I'm gonna put Zen Master. I would probably make a note after I write down this list of what labels have been placed upon me by myself or by others, and see if they are more positive ones or more negative ones, just to know that about ourselves as well. But just listing your labels, whether they've come from you or from others. And yeah, I'm going to say take a look at them and notice if more of them are negative energy or a positive energy. So remember yesterday there was this quote by Augustine of Hippo says, "Do you wish to rise? Begin by descending. You plan a tower that will pierce the clouds. Lay first the foundation of humility." All right, ladies, I hope to see you this afternoon. 4 p.m. Eastern is our Zenful Conversation guest speaker, psychic medium Connie Fusella. To sign up for these, if you're listening in on YouTube or podcast, go to zenfulconversations.com and it has all the offerings. And sign up on the email list for this community of women and stay up to date on the offerings. Today, 4 p.m. Eastern. This is January 10th as recorded, 4 p.m. Eastern. Connie Fusella, psychic medium. Be there to answer your questions. We ask questions. It's an interactive conversation. She's going to do a few readings at the end of today's call, and we hope to have you join us. Also, Dr. Darcy Lord have a free offering this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can go to drdarcylord.com. I believe that is her email address. She has an offering And that is offered to us at no charge also. So just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. And I don't see anyone on at the moment, but please let me know you were here. In deep gratitude, namaste, ladies.